What if an AI could do more than just chat with you about your mental health? What if it could actually adapt in real time to your unique mindset? Well, that's the big promise behind some really fascinating new research we're diving into today. We're talking about a truly personalized AI companion, one designed to meet you exactly where you are on your own journey. Okay, so to really get why this is such a big deal, we got to start with the scale of the problem. And it's huge. The World Health Organization estimates that nearly 1 billion people worldwide are living with a mental disorder. I mean, just think about that. That's a staggering number, and it touches literally every single community on the planet. And yet, and this is the tough part, the vast majority of those people never get the care they need. It's something experts call the treatment gap. And it's not just one thing causing it. It's this perfect storm of high costs, not enough trained professionals to go around, and of course, that persistent social stigma that makes it so incredibly hard for people to even ask for help.
So where does that leave us? I mean, what are the options? On one hand, you've got human therapy. It's personal, it's effective, but like we just said, it's often way too expensive or just not available. Then, on the other hand, you have these generic AI chatbots. Sure, they're accessible 24/7, but let's be honest, they can feel really impersonal, they make mistakes, and they just don't have a real therapeutic backbone. They're kind of like a Band-Aid, not a real tailored solution.
And that brings us right to the heart of the research we're looking at today. If the options we have right now are so limited, what's the answer? How can we use technology to actually bridge that treatment gap in a way that feels both safe and genuinely, truly personal? And the answer this research proposes, well, it's not just about building a smarter chatbot. No, it's a completely different way of thinking, and it all comes down to one word: personalization. The core idea here is to build an AI that doesn't give everyone the same canned responses. Instead, it adapts its entire strategy based on your specific psychological state at that moment. So, how in the world does it do that? Well, the key is a tool called the Acceptance of Illness Scale, or AIS for short. Now, don't let the name scare you. It's basically a quick questionnaire that helps the system get a read on your mindset. A low score might mean you're feeling totally overwhelmed, whereas a high score says, okay, I'm ready to start actively managing this. That score, that's the all-important starting point. Okay, so based on that score, the system doesn't just throw you into a generic chat. No way. It connects you with one of 3 specialized AI agents. The paper uses a great analogy. It's like a personal trainer who first figures out your fitness level before they even think about designing a workout for you. So let's meet these 3 different AI personalities. First up, we have Agent L. The L stands for low acceptance. So if you're in a place where you're feeling completely overwhelmed, maybe even a little resistant, just starting to grapple with things, this is the agent for you. Its entire job is just to listen, to build some trust, and to help normalize what you're feeling. That's it. No pressure, no you should do this advice, just gentle, non-judgmental support.
All right, next up is Agent M for moderate acceptance. This agent steps in when you recognize there's an issue and you're feeling ready to start taking some small active steps. It's kind of like a coach. It'll start to introduce you to techniques from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which is all about helping you spot and change those unhelpful thought patterns. So it's there to help you start reframing your thoughts and maybe try out some new behaviors. And finally, there's Agent H for high acceptance. Now, this is for someone who's already got a handle on things and is actively self-managing their condition. This agent isn't a coach so much as a collaborator, a partner. Its goal is to help you stick with your relapse prevention plan, keep an eye out for those early warning signs, and just maintain all the great, healthy routines you've already worked so hard to build. So, how does this all work in practice? Well, you can think of it as a simple, continuous loop. First, you do that initial assessment to see where you're at. Second, you get matched with the right agent for you, L, M, or H. Then, as you interact, the system is constantly learning and adapting its approach based on your progress. And this is absolutely crucial. It's all built with safety in mind. There are protocols in place to flag situations that might need a real human to take a look. Okay, but here's where this research gets really interesting. The authors didn't just stop at the technical design. They used something called design fiction to imagine what happens when this technology leaves the lab and enters our messy real world. So let's explore 3 really plausible near-future scenarios they came up with. First up, I want you to meet Ria. She's 17, she's been pulling away from her friends, skipping school. She's just not herself. Her parents are worried, so they encourage her to try this AI companion. As you might guess, her initial score is low, so the system matches her with Agent L, the listener.
So, Rhea opens up to the AI. She tells it how she feels all this pressure from everyone to just snap out of it and be normal again. And instead of giving her a list of 5 things to try, the L agent just listens. It simply validates how incredibly overwhelming that pressure must be. And for Rhea, it's a breakthrough. It's maybe the first time she feels like someone actually gets it without judging her. But here's the twist. While the agent is providing that comfort, it's also picking up on a pattern of hopelessness in what Rhea is saying. So behind the scenes, it flags her profile for a human follow-up with her school's counselor. And this scenario just perfectly captures the ethical tightrope we're walking. On one hand, it's incredibly helpful support. But on the other, wow, it raises some really serious questions about her privacy and her autonomy, right? Okay, let's switch gears to scenario 2. This is Jonas, he's 42, and he's using the AI as part of his company's corporate wellness program. He scores in that moderate range, so he gets matched with Agent M, the coach, to help him deal with some pretty intense work-related stress. And you know what? The M agent is great. It gives Jonas real, concrete tools that actually help him get through his day. But, and it's a big but, his company is looking at all the anonymized data from the program, and they start using it to push this corporate culture of resilience. So the very tool that was supposed to help Jonas cope is now, in a way, creating this subtle new pressure on all employees to constantly be optimizing their mental health for the good of the company. All right, our final scenario introduces us to Sarah. Sarah is 35, and she's lived with recurrent depression for a long time. She knows her condition well, she has a high level of acceptance, and so the system pairs her with Agent H, the collaborator. And for Sarah, this is where the technology really shines. The AI becomes a true partner for her. It helps her keep track of those little, subtle changes, maybe in her sleep or her concentration, that she knows from experience are her personal early warning signs. It's not telling her what to do, it's a reflective tool that empowers her to stay on top of the self-management plan she already has. This is really the technology working at its absolute best.
So, what's the big takeaway from these 3 very different stories? I mean, think about it. It's the exact same technology in each case, but the outcome, the meaning of it, is completely shaped by the context, the home, the workplace, the individual. And this brings us to what is maybe the most important conclusion of the entire paper.
The key insight is this. Technology is never neutral. The exact same AI can be a supportive friend who also happens to be a privacy risk. It can be a corporate productivity tool, or it can be a deeply personal, empowering partner. For Rhea, it was a confidant that blurred boundaries. For Jonas, a tool for corporate resilience. For Sarah, a collaborator. The context? It changes everything. And that leaves us with one final, really important question that we all need to be thinking about. As this kind of incredibly powerful adaptive AI becomes a bigger part of our world, who decides how it gets used? Who sets the rules? Who decides if it's a tool for care, a tool for productivity, a tool for surveillance, or something else entirely? When an AI adapts to us, who decides how it shapes our world? That's the conversation we absolutely need to be having starting right now.